Let's bring in Sgt Betsy Brantner Smith, National Police Association spokesperson and retired Chicago police officer, and former NYPD Commissioner Bernard Kerik. I want to get your both reaction here, but here's the mother brazenly defending these criminals.
My boys are not monsters, what people trying to paint them to be, at all. At all. There is another side. I don't believe a damn thing CPD says. And I can guarantee you this, my boys was afraid.
Sergeant, when you hear that, I'm blown away. I'm just blown away to listen to this woman. Her sons killed Ella French. Go ahead, Sergeant.
Eric, it just makes me sick. And first, I just want to correct that I was not a Chicago police officer. I was a Chicago suburban police officer. And when I watched that tape, you know, she Facebook lived herself getting arrested. It was a total setup. And now the state's attorney in Cook County, Illinois, Kim Foxx, has decided not to charge her with any crime, even though she fought two Chicago police officers guarding her thug son, and she kicked one of them in the crotch and all this. Now she has put herself out there as a victim when the real victim, as we know, is young Officer Ella French and her partner, who is fighting for his life.
Commissioner, you weigh in on that mom saying that the reason must be her kids killed the cop. The reason must be, and may have killed, you know, another one's on, you know, fighting for his life. It must be because they didn't trust the cops. What do you say to that, Commissioner?
You know what? Here's the reality. I mean, this woman's a thug just like her kids, and the reality of this is, it's disgusting. I mean, it's disgusting. I'm so sick of all of it. She's painting herself as a victim. She's not a victim. This is a ploy for their trial, for the defense. The bottom line is they're going to be tried by a jury. I'm concerned about the state's attorney there, another Soros-funded, supported prosecutor. You know, that's what's killing this country. You got governors instituting laws that victimize the thugs, villainize the cops. You have prosecutors that are not prosecuting, and you have mayors that aren't supporting the men and women in the police department.
Yeah, Sergeant, I'm from Chicago. Why in 2021 are we still talking about the epidemic of mass shootings in Chicago and mass murders and homicides off the charts? Why is this still happening? Why, my hometown, you know, where's the breakdown here? We've got mayors who aren't supporting cops. I get it, but at some point, you got to get in there. Is it not enough resources? I think Mayor Lori Lightfoot took resources away from the police department. What's happening?
Well, what it is, and I just got to tell you, Eric, my youngest kid still lives there, and in 2 weeks she's moving out of state because it's just so horrific there. 39 mass shootings already this year, 1,000 people shot, at least 126 dead. And no other city has these kind of mass or these kind of shootings all weekend, 40, 50, 60, 70 shootings a weekend. And all Lori Lightfoot does is demonize her police until just a few days ago when she said that we must respect the police. What's happening in Illinois is you have a far left progressive mayor, combined with exactly what the commissioner said, a Soros-funded far left progressive state's attorney in Kim Foxx, who lets all these gun criminals out. They love to talk about gun criminals. They're all out on ankle bracelet monitors. They never end up going to court, and they just reoffend. The street gangs run the city of Chicago. The mayor does not.
You know, Commish, I know where these crimes are being very much centralized in the western and southern suburbs of Chicago. These are crime-ridden neighborhoods. Is it time? I mean, I hate to say this. Is it time to bring in the feds, the National Guard? I mean, at what point do we step in? Let me go with the commissioner. At what point do we step in and say enough is enough on the federal level?
You know what, Eric? Honestly, they already have in Chicago, just like New York City and in Seattle and other cities around the country. They have a number of federal task forces. They have an FBI task force. They have a DEA task force. They have a U.S. Marshal Violent Felony task force. They've got a number of them. The key is, are they using them? Is the mayor giving them the authority to go out and do what they have to do? She's short over 1,000 cops based on their TO. They're supposed to have 13,000. They've only got about 12. She really should have about 14 to 15,000. She's defunded, took away cops off the street, took away resources, took away training, and then they sit around in a big circle jerk wanting to know why the crime is going up, why the shootings are up, and why homicide is up.
Yeah. Sergeant, this is going to be hard for us all to hear. Let's take a listen to French's last 911 call. Let's take a listen.
Give me two ambulances needed for two officers down.
Feel when you hear that? I mean, it's just heart-wrenching. Thoughts?
I encourage everyone to go and listen to that entire dispatch tape. First of all, to see how amazing that police dispatcher was. Now, the body cameras are out, not publicly, but I've talked to a couple of Chicago police officers who've seen them, and they're just heart-wrenching. And that's what I want people to understand. Going back to the beginning of this segment, that thug mother, and she talks about her boys must have been afraid of the police. The minute those two officers began to walk up on that car, that gun was pulled and they were both shot in the face immediately. They really had no chance to respond, and then they ran. Yep. This is just, it was an execution of two young people who were just trying to serve their city. And that's what the entire Chicago Police Department is just trying to do. And they're trying to serve a city who just today, one of the neighborhoods on the west side had a prayer vigil for all of their police officers. So the people, a lot of them, most of them, I would say, support the police. But Lori Lightfoot will not take control of the gangs. And the commissioner is right. There are federal task forces everywhere, all throughout Chicago. But again, the police can arrest every criminal in that city. And if our prosecutor there and the federal prosecutors there won't prosecute them, incarcerate them, we're not going to have any crime to go. Crime's never going to go away.
I apologize. I ran out of time, but that is a very important point. I read some stat that just blew me away. There were only a handful of prosecutions and convictions in the last dozen years or so of these people who are killing people. Sergeant Betsy Brantner Smith, Bernard Kerik, thank you both for this very important discussion.
Thanks, Eric.
Thank you.